getting into web worlds turns out to be a bit too easy. You wouldn't have thought anything could be too easy, but it's so easy that people don't realize that they've been told how to do it. So I'm going to do a video here showing you how to do it and a bit of what happens when you get there. In the first place, we'll start in a flat web page, my blog, and anybody can find that just by searching on virtual outworlding, and any recent page will do. If I'm looking at the top, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom now, and there's a section called Visit Me on the Web, and in that section there's a couple of addresses. Well, I'm going to use the address CybaLOUNGE. Now, CybaLOUNGE is an address for a web world, and it will take me to a web world, take you to a web world. Here, we're both going to go to a web world. Now, all I'm going to do is click on it, just like I click on any other web page, and you see that suddenly things start loading. So we have. Well, it's a 3D picture at any rate. It's not actually 3D, but it is a picture that looks like a 3D area. And some things just got loaded. Now, I got the invitation to go into that world, and that's what we're looking at right now. To go in, I've got to choose an avatar. And as a matter of fact, an avatar has been pre-chosen. That's this one on the extreme left. It's the one with the little radio button that has a dot in it. But I don't want that. I'm going to scroll using the little bar at the bottom. I'm going to scroll that little bar over to the other end, because over at the other end, I've got my own avatar available to you too if you want to use it. It's the avatar that I had been using in Second Life and YouTube and OpenSimp for a long time. So now to choose it, I'm looking at it, and one of the traps is people might think clicking on it does something, but clicking on it doesn't do anything. What I have to do is click on the little button, and I have to see a little black spot appear, and that will choose that avatar. Now, in this case, because it already knows me, it has already supplied my name. And I'm using my full name. You can use a nickname or any name you want to be a totally anonymous. And although I am a registered user, in this case, I want to enter as a guest. So you see the light. I could click on one of the other buttons, but I'm going to go in as a guest. So you will see just what will happen when you go in as a guest. And then I want to go in, so I'm going to go click on enter. And lo and behold, I'm there. There's a little, off to the left, the lower left, there's a notice that says Selby has entered the location. And well, it turns out that I seem to be here in two characters, but that doesn't matter. You see the sign that says up at the top says people nearby, and you see a couple of you see a dot with a couple of parentheses around it, and it's red. Now that tells everybody that that character, that person is muted. And in fact, here's the other. Here I am again after a slight intermission. I had to interrupt momentarily to clear off the screen and make some adjustments in the way the video was capturing. But I've done that now. And so I will continue telling you about what you can do in the virtual world. And I'll go a little bit further into the communication. I was saying that the microphone is muted, Now down below on the line, on the bottom line, you can actually see a microphone, in a red dot, and which the red dot tells me it is muted. And to unmute it, I will click on it, and
You are now unmuted.
you can see that in fact it turned green, and now so did the double parentheses markers on Selby Evans in the people nearby panel. Now I'll turn that off again because I'm not.
You are now muted.
Not interested in talking to anybody. Nobody here to talk to. And I will also hide this panel again because nobody really wants to see that for now. Now your first question, now that you know how to talk to people if they're there, which is probably the most important thing you would start with. The other important thing is, how do I get around? And the way you get around is if on a desktop or a laptop, most laptops, you use the arrow keys on your keyboard, and well, you will probably guess immediately that the up arrow is the way to walk forward. And actually, if you here, in this case, if you hold down the shift key, you can walk forward very fast. Here are a couple of panels that I've called your attention. There's Selby's bulletin board, and this also is another. Both of these are Google Docs, and so they have a web address. They're completely under my control. This one is under my control. The other one is under Dieter's control. And I can write on it, so can anybody else, because I've set it to be public. First, I'm going to sit down, and to sit down, I click on the little blue ball in the chair, and now I can look at the bulletin board and describe it to you and show you what you could do. Now you can read it. And everybody can read the contents and see what it is. But you can't write on it this way. This is a replica, but it is just a replica. Here's how to get the actual access to writing on the page. You click on it, and the HTML viewer comes up, which opens up a panel, and this is a completely flat panel, just like any other web page, just like all your familiar web pages. You can type on that. You can read on it. You can scroll it. You can easily see what any text that is there. And of course, somebody asked about can you provide a PowerPoint screen? Well, of course you can. You could put PowerPoint in this. You wouldn't put PowerPoint in this one, of course. You would, if you were using it to teach, you would have your own page of this sort, and you would put PowerPoint in that, and you would not make it publicly available to everybody. You just keep it for yourself. Now I'll close that, and that tells you at least a couple of the main things that you would need to do to teach a course. And what I would certainly contend is this is quite an adequate setup. I have not described anything like all of the capabilities, but this is an adequate setup for teaching a virtual course, a course in a digital world. Now, thank you for watching. I will stand up now. It says I have to stand up. I click Stop Animation, and then I'm going to log off. Thank you. Bye.